So today we're diving into the top 5 comps for you to play in Set 9 patch 1314. The Karma and Taric Invoker comp has been hotfix nerfed already, so it doesn't make the cut for the top 5. Akshan also received some nerfs, but despite this his comp is still in the S tier, but more on that shortly. Noxus Empire is back yet again this week, and we cannot express just how crazy consistent this comp has been. The full comp includes Darius, Katarina, Azir, Nasus, Jarvan, Sion, Swain and Cassiopeia. And for the legend to play, we'd recommend going for Bard. He is just perfect when trying to get those 3-cost slow roll comps online. So with Noxus Empire, you'll want to hit level 7 at around the end of stage 3 to start rolling down to 3-star your Darius and Katarina. Your item priority is the same as your unit priority here. A 3-star Darius with BT, IE and Titans, a 3-star Katarina with Jeweled Gauntlet, Hand of Justice and Ionic Spark, and then a 2-star Azir with Rapid Fire Cannon and a Gwynsu's Rageblade. Anything else that's defensive can just go onto any of your tanks in the front line, with Swain, Nasus and Jarvan. For your augments, you'll definitely want to try and get yourself a Noxus Heart's Crest or Crown to pop that Noxus emblem onto one of your 4-cost tanks later on. Total Domination is another fantastic augment designed specifically for Noxus based comps, so don't hesitate to grab that one along the way. Aside from that, we once again recommend any of Bard's legend augments, but Caretaker's Ally takes the top spot, or you can simply just go for any reroll augments like Golden Ticket. If you didn't know already, we have in-depth video guides for all of the strongest S-tier comps you can play with every single patch, covering items, augments, replacement options, strategies throughout games, positioning and so much more. So click that link in the description and see it for yourself. Next up we have Arctic Akshan for a second week running, and it's all about 3-starring that Akshan and having him snipe down enemy carries on his own. The full comp includes Akshan, Azir, Nasus, Sejuani, Lissandra, Ashe and Renekton. And for the legend to play, we'd recommend going for Twisted Fate to make sure you get those ideal items onto your Akshan. This comp is another slow roll comp with the focus on 3-starring your Akshan at level 7. For your item, Akshan is definitely your priority, and his best items are Runar's Hurricane, Infinity Edge and Deathblade. You'll also want to grab some AP and attack speed on your backup damage carry Azir for later on, with Rapid Fire Cannon, Ravenous Death Cap and Static Shiv being perfect. Aside from that, slam any tank items onto your main frontliners Sejuani and Nasus, with Protector's Vow, Warmogs, Dragon's Claw and Bramble all being solid choices. Moving on to augments, and any Freljord and Shurima augments are going to be your best options, as getting emblems for either or both of these traits really allows this comp to dominate any lobby. Activating Freljord 4 will stun entire enemy boards, allowing your backline plenty of time to do their thing. And grabbing a Shurima emblem onto Sejuani will activate 5 Shurima and make more than half of your board get even stronger by ascending. Aside from those trait specific ones, a cut above will give you a Deathblade that you can instantly slam onto Akshan. Or just go for any item related augments like Pandora's items to help secure Akshan's best options easier. Dead Ice is back in the S tier and coming in at number 3 this patch. This comp is all about that tanky icy frontline stalling the fight for as long as possible, whilst your main carrier Aphelios pumps out ridiculous damage in the backline. And this time Urgot is also going to be there too to help clean up any leftovers. The full comp includes Aphelios, Sejuani, Urgot, Sion, Shen, Lissandra, Taric and Ashe. And we'd recommend going for the good old traditional Poro when playing this comp. As a default comp, you should try and save up gold by streaking early until you hit level 7, where you can now look to stabilize and find those copies of your core 4-cost units and carries Aphelios, Sejuani and Urgot. Itemizing your Aphelios is the most important thing to prioritize, so aim to get his best in-slot items ready as early as possible, with Deathblade, Rageblade and Infinity Edge. You will want to slam any defensive items onto your item holders ready for Sejuani, with Protector's Vow, Warmogs and Gargoyle all being great options. Don't forget that Urgot will be your secondary carry too later on, and he deals a ton of damage with BT and 2 Titans Resolves. Finding an early Deadeye or Freljord emblem will increase your chances of taking home the win pretty easily, so do not hesitate to lock down this comp once you find them. The Freljord Augment Glacial Breeze or the Deadeye Augment Suppressing Fire are also both extremely strong options in this comp. Next up at number 4, Guns Out is back. This comp is all about a full gunner backline annihilating enemy boards with Zeri as your main carry. She'll be backed up by your secondary damage carry Urgot and your main tank Sejuani. You'll also want to activate 3 Piltover nice and early on to get that T-Hex in the mix. Plus the Zorn Chem mods seriously go hard in this one. Your full comp will include Zeri, Sejuani, Urgot, Senna, Echo, Jace, Jinx and Vibe. And for the legend to play, we'd recommend going for Ornn to get those OP Radiant items onto your main carries. This is a default leveling comp that wants you to save up gold until you hit level 7 to find your main 4-cost units and carries, Zeri, Urgot and Sejuani. If you find an early copy of Senna at the same time as bringing in the big guns, this comp will show you just how powerful it can be. For your items, you want to make sure you've got Zeri's items ready to transition, and her best options are Giant Slayer, Rageblade and Infinity Edge. You want to slam any defensive choices onto your Sejuani, with Warmogs and Gargoyle being ideal. And then after that, you want to gear up your secondary carry Urgot with the Bloodthirster, and if possible, 2 Titans Resolves. Finding a gunner augment is your best chance to win when playing this comp, allowing you to activate 6 gunners and destroy boards without even breaking a sweat. Dueling gunners is another no-brainer, boosting the attack speed of most of your board, plus the Zorn specific augment called Chemtech Enhancements is very strong too. Apart from that, any item specific ones like the Orn Forges to get those best in slot items are perfect. Finally, with the changes this week, the full Sorcerer comp Arcane Wizards is back in our top 5. And you definitely want to lock in this comp if you come across an early Sorcerer augment. The full comp uses Lux, Ahri, Jarvan, Taric, Vel'Koz, Swain, Malzahar and Orianna, which is basically all 7 Sorcerers and then Jarvan as your emblem holder. And for the Legend to play, we'd recommend keeping it simple with the Poro or go for Earth for more emblems. Unlike most other comps in our list, this comp revolves around the default leveling strategy, because we're playing around a 4-cost carry. To save up gold until you hit level 7 and then try to find copies of your main 4-cost carry Lux, as well as your 4-cost tank Jarvan, and keep an eye out for any early copies of Ahri too. For your items, prioritizing Lux's ones ready to go is your best bet, and she absolutely pops off with Jeweled Gauntlets, Archangels and Gunblade. After that, you can throw anything offensive onto your Jarvan like Protector's Vow and Dragon's Claw, but make sure you've got that Sorcerer emblem on him too. Anything leftover AP can go on your secondary late game carry Ahri. You will absolutely need to pick up a Sorcerer emblem to make this comp work. So whether it's an augment or whether you need to pick up a spatula in the carousel, make sure you secure it along the way. Overcharged Mana Font is another insane augment when playing any Sorcerer comp, granting all of your units more mana. And then you've got other strong item augments like Magic Wand, or even emblem augments like Ancient Archives. And that's going to bring us to the end of our top 5 comps you have to play this patch from our Challenger experts. If you found this video helpful, feel free to subscribe to our channel and let's continue climbing together in set 9. Good luck.